Take back your yield potential. Make your move at Durastat.com. Available for the 2027 season.
Now, the only locally produced farm radio show with agricultural news, information, interviews, in-depth weather, and more. It's Terry Henne and his Farm Show on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW and online WSGW.com.
A mostly sunny good morning to you. I hope your day is going well for you, wherever you might be. Terry Henne here at Radio Center, along with Matthew Lester, looking at some beautiful sunshine out there after a rather cloudy start and a little bit of precipitation here and there, but the majority of it was up north, where the front that's trying to work its way through the state has worked into that part, the northwest corner, where we're seeing maybe 1/100th or 2/100th of an inch of rain. And then you get into the upper peninsula and about the same. All the reporting stations, not even 1/10 of an inch. And it does appear as though right now we're having the front through at least half of the upper peninsula, because right now Ironwood is coming in at 45, Iron Mountain is 49, Copper Harbor is 48, Escanaba right now is 49, Sawyer Gwynn coming in at 48 degrees, and everybody else is at the 50s, if not a little bit warmer. And you get into the lower peninsula, we're looking at plenty of 50s and a few 60s, like right around these parts. Matthew, what do you have right now on the thermometer?
Well, over at the airport, it's partly sunny at 61. Over in Midland, it's partly sunny at 63. Here at Radio Center, it's cloudy at 63. We have north winds at 13 miles per hour, and our pressure's at 30.33, and it's rising.
That front is a very dry front, as you can tell. It is working its way through. As we go into the afternoon, we're going to see a little bit of a north breeze, and that's going to be about it. As Matthew said, north at 13 miles per hour. Not much windier than that. And as we go into the evening hours, it's going to become a little bit more northeasterly and then eventually easterly late tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow night. So whatever we picked up today, this morning, that's going to be it for the remainder of the day. Sun as the day moves through, with the front eventually winding up in the southeast corner of the lower peninsula. 67 is what we're going to be looking at as far as a high temperature goes. 48 for a low tonight with mostly cloudy skies. Again, there is going to be a chance, ever so slight, but a chance of a spotty shower around with that low of 48 and a light north breeze. Now moving into the day tomorrow, cloudy start, but then sun as we go into the day. High pressure system over Lake Superior is going to be clearing things out after we get, once again, a chance of a sprinkle early tomorrow morning. A little bit cooler, though. We'll only get up to about 60 degrees for a high tomorrow, 38. So we're dropping back down into the 30s for a low on Wednesday night. And then moving into the day on Thursday, sun, clouds will be moving in late. And then once again, there will be a chance after midnight on Thursday night, early Friday morning, of a chance of a shower once again. 62 is what we're going to be looking at for a high on Thursday. 45 for a low on Thursday night. Friday, clouds, a chance of some showers around pretty much all day and all night on Friday night. Again, they will be isolated. We're not looking for a totally overall precipitation pattern. Upper 60s for a high on Friday, so it's going to warm up a little bit. We'll approach 70 degrees. If we don't hit it on Friday, we will on Saturday. But along with that is going to come clouds, plenty of them, as we go through Friday night, Saturday, and Sunday. Our high temperature on Saturday will be about 72, but then another front, this one in Wisconsin, will be moving through later in the day on Saturday night. Still with that chance of showers on Sunday, but our temperature on Sunday is going to only get up to about 58. And then we'll look for a low of 42 on Sunday night. Monday, partly cloudy skies, upper 50s. That's what we're going to be looking at right now. And it does appear as though once we get moving into next week, once again, we'll be seeing those temperatures above normal for this time of the year. And that'll take us right up until pretty close to the end of the month. Precipitation pattern, we're having some chances, but like the Tigers, we just can't push it home. It looks as though if we do get any rain, it's going to be scattered, very light in nature, and not a whole heck of a lot of it, which for harvest isn't all that bad. But for those that would like a nice soaking rain, it's just not on the horizon as of right now. Normal high for this time of the year is 61. The average low is 42. The record high in this state is 84. You got to go back to 1975 to see that. The record low set back in 2002 was 27. A year ago, we didn't set anything on fire a year ago today. 52 was our high. 40 was our low. We picked up about 0.3 of an inch of rain a year ago on this day. Sun will set this evening at 6:54. It'll rise tomorrow morning at 7:51. And on this date, you got to go back to 1936. We saw just under a half inch of snow on this date, October the 14th. Warmest ever, 1975. That was the record high year. 84 was our high. 58 was our low. The coolest ever was 1980. 38 was our high. 30 was our low on the 14th of October back in 1980. More on the weather as we go through the broadcast. Matthew standing by. Who do we have today?
Coming up next, we have Abby Terwilliger from the Andersons, and we also have Doug Klein from Oppenheimer.
But before we get to them, we want to remind you, the weather forecast brought to you by the folks at Nutrien Ag Solutions.
Nutrien Ag Solutions has the local expertise to recommend the corn, soybean, and other seed products that are the best fit for your field. Plus, unparalleled agronomic support with products and services to unlock yield potential and improve crop performance from planting to harvest. Ask about our financing options to help you get more from every acre and lead the field. Visit your local Nutrien Ag Solutions branch or go to nutrienagsolutions.com.
Say, do you want to unlock the secret to higher yields? If you're applying dry fertilizer, the key to better yield potential is Titan XC. Titan XC is a fertilizer biocatalyst that unlocks and releases the bound-up nutrients in granular fertilizer, promoting better root uptake and plant growth. Drive performance this season and beyond. Release more nutrition. Expect better results with Titan XC. For more information, visit lpi.ag/unlock or contact your Nutrien Ag Solutions crop consultant today.
Farm Service brought to you today by the folks at Weiss Equipment in Frankenmuth. They've got that full line of Farmall tractors sitting out front ready for a home, ready to do some work. Whatever work you need to have done, and not all of you have the same work, well, Weiss Equipment doesn't have all of the same Farmall tractors. They're looking at anywhere from 35 to 140 horses. You're talking the value-packed compact Farmall A all the way up to the Farmall C and C series with cabs. You're also looking at plenty of horses out there to do whatever job that you need to have done. So stop by Weiss Equipment, take a look at those tractors, and pick out the one that's going to fit the job that you need to have done. The tractor does it all, so no matter what you're doing, Can Do comes in red, and it's called Farmall. See them today at Weiss Equipment in Frankenmuth, doing it right longer. We say good morning to Abby Terwilliger over at the Andersons, and Abby, one more time, it looks like we're treading a little bit of water. We've got a couple of pluses, we got a couple of minuses. Nobody's really making any strong moves today.
Yeah, no, unfortunately, the minuses on soybeans are a little bit lower than the pluses on corn and beans. But hey, I guess at least it's just one and not all three.
Yeah, and again, we've been talking about the government reports that aren't coming out. So we're having to trade, from what I'm gathering, from a lot of private individuals.
Yep, correct. And there's a group of 10 different analysts that I just saw a report on that. They're saying that corn across the U.S. is 44% done. Last week we were sitting at 29%, and last year this time we were at 47%. So a little bit behind last year, which does not surprise me. I know I was just looking at some notes from last year, and I had quite a bit of corn already coming into the elevator. Lots of landlords selling at that point, and right now we're just kind of starting to trickle in a little bit. Beans wise, they're saying we're at 58% done. Last week, 39%, and last year this time, 67%, which again does not surprise me. We dried down a little bit faster, a little bit sooner last year. So there does not surprise me one bit. Overall, I'd say beans in this central mid-Michigan area are 85 to 90% ish done. And corn is just starting. I know up Auburn way they've been getting a little bit more in.
Yeah, and I know a lot of producers have been going out in the fields, and it's close, but it's just not quite right yet.
Yep. Seeing lots of reports of anywhere between, we have had a couple loads come in that are 16, 17, and some that are 23, 24, some samples coming in that's still at 28. So it's kind of all over the board. I know our house average so far has been between 20 and 21 coming in. Not that we've seen a huge bushel amount coming in yet, but that's kind of where we're sitting.
All right. So right now on the board, what do you have, Abby?
Right now on the board, new crop corn, 347, new crop soybeans, 937. If you got any red wheat hanging out, that's at 420, and white wheat is at 460.
As far as looking into 2026, any particular reason why producers should be keeping a real sharp eye on anything?
I mean, always keep a real sharp eye on next year. Don't let this year kind of fog you. I know we have fallen below the $4 in the $10 mark on corn and beans. We're at 387 and 977. But really talk to your marketer, or look at your books, your numbers, find out what your break even is, and go from there. I always recommend at least trying to, even if we get back to that $4 and $10 mark, yes, those numbers aren't great, but at least cover some of your costs, so that way at least what you're gambling with is not the farm itself.
Yeah, good advice. Abby, you take care. Have a great day, okay?
Thanks, you too.
You bet. Abby Twilliger over at the Andersons. A little bit more in depth as far as what the markets are doing. Doug Klein from Oppenheimer joining me. The Market Report brought to you by Kryjak's House. Great place to dine in, a great place to supply the food for an event that you've got coming up. A lot of folks have had parties, have had get-togethers, have had the reunions, and they just swear by the folks at Kryjak's House. I mean, they provide a great meal for a very good reason. They've been doing it a long time, and everyone seems to be very pleased with the results, and you will be too. Check it out. 989-894-5531. That's the telephone number. Or a great place to dine in, too, just to sit back, relax, and enjoy. Kryjak's House, corner of Cass and Michigan on the south side of Bay City. Market Report also brought to you by Ed Raymond & Sons, quality clothing and shoes since 1919. Stormy Cromer Accessories, they got a big event going on down at Ed Raymond's. So for more information, just go to their website at edraymond's.com. They've also got a super huge selection of Carhartt and Red Wing shoes and boots. That's what it's all about at 151 West Broad Street in Chesaning. You'd be surprised at what is all in that building. Something there just for you. Check them out. Get more information by going to edraymond's.com. Doug Klein, good morning.
Good morning.
Well, what's gas prices doing?
Well, it should be going down 3 cents.
They should.
There's that middleman in there raking it to us.
Well, I just I stopped by a station the other day, and boy, they had a sale on candy bars. You buy 2 of them for $6. And I said, wait a minute. Wait a minute. I mean,
haven't they heard?
These aren't the big double ones here, you know. Really? Yep. Yeah, that's what they're doing.
Oh boy.
Hot dogs are good though.
Oh, sure. Oh, sure. If they're allowed.
If they're allowed. There you go.
Right.
So what is going on in Chicago? Anything much?
What's going on? Well, China's throwing shade today. Yesterday was Trump's day to try to bring the market back, and today China tried to knock it back down. Of course, China was all up in our business on Friday, kind of cracked us. So, I mean, it seems to be one government throwing mud, and then the other government going back at it, and I guess that's their job nowadays. Instead of taking care of the people, they're just throwing shade back and forth. So I don't know. It's old, but anyway, it's new today because Caterpillar hit an all-time high today, $520. So that kind of corresponds with the price of gold hitting an all-time high today, 41.75, and silver all-time high today overnight, 52.27. They gave up quite a bit of that so far. So that's going on. Cabot hit a new low today. They're down to 66.80. They come off a high of about 117 back in the fall. So they're a big deal up in Midland and with the Dow Chemical Company and all that stuff going on up there. So yeah, that's all going on. I'll just give you the numbers. The December corn is 4.11 1/4, up a half a penny. March corn is 4.27 1/4, unchanged. November soybeans 10.01 1/4, down 6 1/2. January soybeans 10.19, down 6 1/4. Wheat hit a new low today, so the December wheat is 4.99 1/4, up 2 1/2, and the March wheat 5.15 3/4, also up 2 1/2. Crude oil is 58.05, down $1.44. Heating oil 218.72, down 6 1/4 cents. Gasoline 181.06, down 3 1/4 cents. Natural gas is 403.8, that is down 7.6 cents. Over currencies, Canadian dollar, US dollar buys $1.40.51 Canadian, that's up another 16 ticks. The dollar buys 151.78 yen, down 49 ticks. The euro's at 115.92, up 24 ticks. The dollar's at 99.16, down 11 ticks. Gold is at 41.40.80, up $22.40 an ounce. Silver's 50.24, up 0.2 of a penny. Platinum is 16.77, down $14.80, and copper's at 496.95, down 14.8 cents.
Okay. Well, we'll keep looking for those prices.
Check Carol. I think they're probably the leader when it's Carol and Clio. I don't know. Is that a thing?
Yeah. Yeah.
See, 4-letter words starts with a C, and
there you go.
They throw Clio. That's where you get your gas.
We'll take it. All right. Doug, have a good one, okay?
Yep. All right.
Doug Klein over at Oppenheimer. Your tractor might be a hobby, passion, livelihood, or even a legacy for this next generation. Well, at Steiner Tractor, they share your enthusiasm for these antique machines, and they know you want to keep them running. They also know you want to keep them looking good, too. They do take their job personally at Steiner Tractor Parts because they understand how your life and job both stop if that tractor stops running. 800-234-3280, that's the number. Or you can get a hold of them and order online at steinertractor.com. Farm Service brought to you today by the folks at Quality Roasting of Reese, offering competitive, consistent prices for your soybeans. Give them a call for a quote today. Coming up, Matthew, who do we have up next?
Coming up next, we have Vic Hupfer from Freeland Bean and Grain.
But first, this.
Powerlift hydraulic doors. Ever heard of them? Powerlift hydraulic doors is the largest hydraulic door manufacturer in North America, manufacturing and installing hydraulic doors for over 30 years. Covering the entire state of Michigan, we can custom design your new door up to 150 feet by 45-foot clear opening. We can fit your airplane hangar, agricultural shed, industrial or commercial structure with a strong, reliable, and high-performance door. Nothing beats a Powerlift hydraulic door built right here in Marlette, Michigan. Our custom hydraulic doors are designed for your toughest jobs.
Hi, I'm Andy. The price we give you is the installed price, and you deal with us from the beginning to the end. To schedule your Powerlift door consultation, call 989-635-8017 and ask for Andy, or visit powerliftdoorsmi.com. Powerlift Hydraulic Doors of Michigan. When you need it done right, we lift you above the rest.
Farm Service brought to you today by the folks at the Michael Sarr Crop Insurance Agency. They're licensed to serve all of Michigan with both conventional and organic crop insurance. You can get a hold of their agents directly on their cell for questions or emergencies, or you can give them a call in Reese, 989-868-4722. The Michael Sarr Crop Insurance Agency. Along with us from Freeland Bean and Grain, we have Vic Hupfer on the line. Vic, good morning. How are you?
Well, we're doing pretty well, Terry. It's corn harvest, and things are starting to progress pretty good in that. Some guys are really making some big strides in corn. I know a couple of farms that are going to be done by the end of the week.
Wow.
I don't exactly know what they're going to do the rest of the fall, but they definitely are going after that and getting her done. Soybeans are kind of wrapping up. Dry beans are pretty much finished. We've just got a handful of loads to get there. As far as I know, the quality of the dry beans looked pretty good. Yields were average to above, from what I understand. Some areas were better than others. A lot of it depends on rainfall. It was very, very mixed with rainfall. But the quality of the bean is looking really good that we've got to process and ship for next year. Fertilizers going on. I'm surprised more fertilizers going on than I expected. I thought with the way the market was, I kind of figured that we might be reducing rates, or we might be cutting back on some things. There are some people that are not applying phosphorus this fall. They're thinking maybe that the price might reset, and they might be doing some of that in the spring. So we've seen some reductions there. But potash, I mean, guys are putting potash on like they normally do. So nothing's really changed in that arena. So I think that shows me some optimism going into next year, the way I see it. But crops, we've had such a great stretch of weather that crops are coming off just beautifully. Ground is working up really well. Guys are going right after it, staying right behind everything. And I don't know if they're thinking that eventually Mother Nature's going to start open up the clouds and not stop, or they're just because conditions are so good, they're just going through like crazy.
Oh yeah, at this stage of the game, it looks to me like a lot of guys are trying to think ahead just a little bit, moving into 2026. And I know there's been a lot of work done on the soil because it's working up so nice.
I think that's the thing, is it's just such good conditions to work in. They're not tracking up the ground. I've got some guys that are just they're looking at their soybean fields, their soybean stubble, and they're saying they're going to rip the headlands and leave the rest of the field because it's so flat and it's so nice. And they say, why disturb it? So I see some of that even happening, which is not, I'm not surprised at, because if we get a good frost this winter, it's not going to make a difference if that's tilled, the way I see it, because it just, the ground wasn't compacted in tight. Yep.
Yeah. Well, everything seems to be working away right now. Of course, there'll be a lot of conversation coming up about our resistant weeds that we're picking up around.
We had a surprisingly big problem this year across the region with water hemp. Water hemp, it just seemed to be everywhere. Why, I'm not certain, if it's being transported more by birds or by deer or what the reasoning is. But boy, we saw a big explosion of water hemp this year, and some of it was pretty tough to control. Some got left in the field just because there was just a handful of plants out there, to where they just weren't concerned about it so much. But it was surprising to me how water hemp was such an issue this year. There is a couple products out there, Warrant and Zidua, in soybeans that really, really work really well, and they can be applied in your first application of glyphosate and Enlist across soybeans or Liberty to help with residual control going forward. And we did some of that this year, and we saw some tremendous results.
Very interesting, Vic. Another conversation soon, and we'll talk a little bit more about what we're looking forward to. You have a nice week and great weekend coming up, okay?
You too, Terry. Thank you.
You betcha. Vic Huffer with Freeland Bean and Grain. Who do we have up next, Matthew?
Up next, we have Jerry Samolsky from the Bay Landscaping and Garden Center in Essexville, and we also have Craig Voorhees from the Rummel Insurance Agency.
Farm Service brought to you today by the folks at Don Morris and Allie Teal. You put more into every acre, more time, more care, more grit. Now, Proven Bio G3 is helping you get more back with 3 game-changing modes of action that feed more nitrogen, boost nutrient uptake, and amplify yield potential. Proven G3 locks in at the roots to deliver steady nutrition and when and where your corn needs it most. So lock it in and see for yourself at pivotbio.com. And if that isn't enough, check out the price against synthetic nitrogen. Check it out, their price, by calling Don Morris at 989-239-2791 or Allie Teal at 989-780-3770. Craig Voorhees with the Rummel Agency joining us right now. Craig, let's talk a little bit about heat.
Right, Terry. The temperatures continue to stay above normal, but eventually we're going to have some heat in our homes and our sheds. And we get a lot of questions this time of year about alternative heat sources, wood stoves, corn burners, and then the outdoor boilers. And each one, the outdoor boiler gets treated a little differently than the other ones. Wood stoves and corn burners and those kind of things are acceptable to most insurance companies as long as they're installed according to the manufacturer recommendations. And there is a little bit of an additional charge on the policy for having that in your home. They are not typically allowed in a garage, but that's attached to the house. And then to make matters even more confusing, then they can be allowed in your maintenance shop. So if you're thinking of installing one of those items, get with your agent and find out what your particular insurance company requires. When it comes to the outdoor boilers, those are pretty much accepted by just about every company. Again, because they're outside of a building, they pose less of a burn threat.
Good information. Craig, you have a great one. We'll talk to you again, okay?
All right, Terry, thanks. You have a good one, too.
I will. Craig Voorhees with the Rummel Agency. Jerry Samolsky joining us right now. And Jerry, what should we be doing right now?
Terry, we've talked about limbing trees up and making sure that you can get underneath them where you want to. So right now, before all the leaves are falling, you know which ones are bothering you. Just don't reach up there and cut it off as high as you can reach. You might need a ladder, and you need to cut the limb that's bothering you all the way off, either at the primary limb. You can take a secondary off up to the primary, or take the whole limb off right at the trunk, however it seems best. But cutting a limb in half as high as you can reach, you're doing virtually nothing, and that's going to end up coming back again and hitting you in the head. So just realize that a limb is at 4 or 5 or 6 feet tall in a shade tree. 20 years from now, it's going to be 4 or 5 or 6 feet tall. So if it's too low, trim them up and trim them now before they get too big and it becomes major surgery.
All right. Jerry, thanks a lot. We'll talk to you again soon. Jerry Samolsky, Bay Landscaping, a garden center in Essexville. What's going on in New York right now? Well, Teresa DeVoe over at Baird & Company. What is happening, Teresa?
Good morning. Markets have had an interesting morning. We started the morning significantly down, but currently the Dow Jones Industrial Average is up 178 points at 46,246, 435 million shares traded. NASDAQ down 123 points at 22,571, 762 million shares traded there. Some stocks of local interest include Caterpillar at 523.78, up 19.0. D446.83, up 773. CMS Energy 74.24, up 69. Dow 21.73, up 31. DuPont 76.50, up 56. Corteva 62.51, down 16. General Motors 56.81, up $1.20. Trinzio 203, down 2. Walmart 105.34, up 3.22. Huntington Bank 16.23, up 33. Independent Bank 31.33, up 61, and AT&T at 25.94, up 35.
Teresa, thank you. You have a great day, okay? Farm Service brought to you by Michigan Truck Spring of Saginaw, your complete parts and service headquarters for light, medium, heavy-duty trucks and trailers, as well as buses and recreational vehicles. Buy online by going to truckspring.com. Back at 12:30 with an update. Now we conclude with the playing of our national anthem, brought to you by Euclid Avenue Coin in Bay City.
Broadcasting from the Stormmaster Exterior Studios, WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW FM, Carlton,